want you to get to know Ischia a little better so that you will be confident to send your clients there and, of course, send them to Botania, Relais Spa.
So, I'm Francesca, and we are right now in Forio, which is a very small town, but it's actually the biggest town here in Ischia. And it is currently 4 p.m. So there is a beautiful sun, and I'll show you. So this is the port of Forio, where usually hydrofoils arrive. And here it is. It is a small port, and it's linked directly to the city center of Forio. So as you see there, you can see a tower, which I'm gonna show you later. But basically, there's 7 towers in total in Forio, and I'm gonna explain you later what they were used for in the past. But as I'm showing you around, you will see quite a few of them. So I think we can start walking towards the main street, and all along here you can see a lot of little restaurants, a lot of bars. So this area is really not crowded, but it's full of people over over spring and summer. And there's beautiful bars where you can have an aperitivo. And
Got a good nightlife, right, Francesca?
Yes, as well. There is, especially in this area. I personally come here often, and we have something to drink over there, right in front of us. I know you see a lot of cars. I'm sorry, there's so many cars right now. And you can have an aperitif. You can have an after dinner drink, which is really nice. And usually this area, there are no cars allowed. So it's just people walking, and there's no scooters, there's no cars. And here, this is a very famous restaurant, which is currently closed. I think they're doing some renovation. And this is a very famous restaurant where they make a great pizza. And this is one of the most important, I think, restaurants here. They make amazing pizza, amazing traditional Italian food.
Yeah, it's called Bella Napoli. And in my opinion, it's one of the most nice pizza of the island of Ischia. And then with a nice view on the harbor. And it's a great place, so where you can eat, and then after the dinner, so the nightlife here in Forio.
Yeah, and this is also where the hydrofoil comes in from Naples, right?
Yes, exactly. So there's many hydrofoils, especially over spring and summer, that arrive here to Forio. There's 2 other main ports in Ischia. This is the 3rd one. But this is the most accessible one because you get directly in the city center. And here, there's this little grocery store. They only sell fresh fruits and fresh vegetables here. This is somewhere where me and my dad come really often to get our vegetables, our groceries. And most of these products are from Ischia, so they're grown here. And it's really, really nice. So these are traditional. For example, artichokes are in season. There's a lot of cabbage, there's cauliflower, so everything that is in season. As well, here you see a lot of cars now, but when the spring comes, there's no cars at all. This is you can only access to the center. Oh, there's a car. To the center walking. So there's no cars, there's no scooters, which is so much better. This is the first little square of Forio. You can see here, there's the first church. And as I go here, I just wanted to show you quickly that there's this little street. And they just kind of renovated it, freshened it up. Because it was a street that was really underestimated, but it's really important in the history of Forio. And they just opened 2 new restaurants, which is this one and this one. They're both closed, so, but there's these really nice houses with terraces. And I just wanted to show you quickly, they kind of freshened it up. It's a really cool spot for dinner and for an after dinner drink. It is really, really nice. It's a really nice ambience. And just a sneak peek of the church. Thankfully, there's no one. But this is always open. There's a lot of churches in Forio, as I'm going to show you. This is not the main one. This is a very small one. So
okay.
this is San Gaetano Square, and this is the San Gaetano Church. Then walking from here, right now, because it's 4, boutiques and all those little shops are not open yet. Some of them are, some of them aren't, because they usually open up at 5:30 in the afternoon during the winter season. In Forio, I think especially in Forio compared to the other city centers of the island of Ischia, basically people just they don't go out with their cars. They just get out of their house and they go around the city center of Forio just to run errands. For example, at this time, a lot of people just get out of their house after having lunch. They have a coffee. They just meet up to have a quick coffee, and then they go back to work. So this is basically what most of the people right now are doing in the city center. And this is another church, but this is the most important church in Forio. This is the Church of Santa Maria di Loreto. And we're gonna go inside to have a look. So this is much bigger compared to the other ones. And it's colored in marbles. And there's inside of this church, there's a lot of paintings on the sides. And these are from local painters. So 2 in particular local painters from the city of Forio. So this is the start of the main street where all the bars, the little shops are.
What do most of the shops sell there? Is it?
So there's a few souvenir shops, not too many, but there are a lot of local boutiques, for example, for shoes, for clothes, for example, there's a few supermarkets, a lot of bars, and I mean cafes, not really bars here in the street, a few more restaurants. So someone from Forio would come to the street to find literally anything. So they have to run errands, they have to buy some food, they have to buy something else. So anything they need, they come here. They don't even take their car. They just come and take a walk and at the same time run their errands. And it's something that I really, really love doing as well. So my generation doesn't really do this. We just take our car and we try to do as many things as possible with our car. But I've learned that living in a place like this, in a city like this, it's always super nice to just come to the little town, do some errands, and at the same time, I meet the people that I know. Pretty much everybody knows each other here, so you chat with a few people that you know. At the same time, you have a coffee. So here we are next to a little restaurant that serves, which is closed unfortunately, and it serves typical dishes from Ischia. And here, this is a very important store in Forio. It's currently closed, so I cannot show you, but I think you saw a picture of it. It was on I think you saw it for the link of the meeting. So yes. Here, they open their doors, handmade soaps, Cos'altro? This kind of like, they make everything in here. So they make everything here. They're just traditional soaps. In here, there's a fountain. And this is the main fountain of Forio. And it was basically built in celebration of the waterworks, so the first waterworks of the island of Ischia. So it was a big deal. So they made this fountain. Now we're gonna stop very quickly. We're not gonna go further. We're gonna go later. But I just want to show you quickly a very cute street. And this is called the Via del Torrione. Forio is full of these little streets, both on the left and on the right side. So the main street, and on the left and on the right side of the main street, there's all these little roads that lead to either houses. There are many towers in Forio, which were used in the 1400s. Two, I'm going to show you, and here. So the tower that we saw at the beginning from the port, it's this one. We got very close. And this is Torrione. And this is the biggest tower in Forio. And these towers were used for protection when, so from the tower, you can see very good the sea, and if there's some invaders coming. So in the 1400s, there were these populations called Saraceni and the Turkish that were attacking the Island of Ischia, and especially the area of Forio, because it was the easiest one, the easiest part of the island to attack. So people would come here, they would get into the tower, and they felt protected. So when these populations were attacking them, they would from the top of the tower, they would throw rocks, they would throw boiling oil for them to just go away. So it was a way just to protect themselves. And of course, there's the perfect view of the sea, so you could see them coming in advance.
And then inside, sorry, Francesca, inside there is a beautiful museum now, and then it's closed for this period, but it's so beautiful to visit during the season. And then now, unfortunately, it's closed, but it's so nice to organize a guided tour to visit and discover the tower, and then the museum too.
And here, there's something I really want to show you. So there's this wall of little tiles. So you might wonder what this is. And there is it's linked to a tradition, not only of Forio, but of the island of Ischia. So on every tile, you can read a nickname. So every family in Forio has a nickname. So for example, I asked Paolo, what's your family's nickname? When I want to get to know him, when I want to know who's his family, because as I told you before, pretty much everybody knows each other here. So the easiest way to recognize from which family you're from is to say this nickname. So for example, this one is funny. I'm going to translate to you. And all of these are not in Italian. These are in dialect. So this is the Neapolitan dialect. So for example, purpette is really funny because it means meatball. So probably the reason why this family is called purpette, meatball, maybe because there were a lot of females in the family that were great at cooking, and maybe they were great at making meatballs. So this is kind of the reason why the way you choose the nickname. So all around these little streets, these are houses, and people, of course, still live here. These are the traditional houses of Forio. So they have this beautiful arch, which is made with a typical stone that's very widely used in Ischia, which is called tuffo. And they have, of course, always engraved the dates. This is when it was built, and This is when it was renovated.
Continue.
In
So this is the
1990,
fountain where we were earlier. We continue to walk straight. So considering that Forio, so this one is the biggest, biggest city in Ischia. All the other ones, for example, Ischia Porto is the second one, so it's a little bit smaller than Forio. And there is a big, kind of like a bigger city center where most of the shops are. So for literally just shopping, there are not many restaurants or many bars, and but there is a beautiful area, I think, which is super nice for younger people as well, which is called Riva Destra, and it's, oh, you can see, I just wanted to show you the sun. This is such a beautiful day. It's actually really hot today. Ischia Porto is kind of like a bigger, like a smaller city, sorry, and there's this area where there's a lot of bars. So it's by the sea. There's beautiful bars. There's not many beaches in Ischia Porto. There's more beaches in Forio, Lacrameno, which I want to show you next time. It's another city close to Forio. So it's close to Botania, Botania is between Lacrameno and Forio. And there is another one, which is Barano, but it's far away, kind of like far away from the sea. There's more hills, there's a little bit of mountain. So Ischia has both. It has the sea, so beautiful beaches, beautiful thermal parks, which are in Forio, Lacrameno. So in a few of the cities, but there's also the mountain.
Of the islands. And this is the village with more light during all year round. Because on the other side of the island, so the sun coming out earlier, but so now it's a little bit dark because it's covered by the mountain of Conveno.
What festivals are in Forio?
So each city, little city in Ischia, has a saint that protects the city. So we do a big celebration for that occasion. So, for example, in Forio is San Vito. So it's in the middle of June. So in the middle of June, there is this big party. All the streets are super crowded with a lot of tourists, a lot of people from the local, a lot of locals. And there's concerts, there's exhibitions. So
you can do a day trip to Capri from Ischia.
Oh,
right?
yes, easily. Yes, just a one-day trip, leaving in the morning from the port and just getting back at night.
And now we return to the center for one of the most beautiful places of Forio village. It's that beautiful white church is called the Soccorso church, and then it is one of the most iconic place for the people are living in Forio.
So there are beaches and thermal parks, and there are wineries, correct?
Yeah, it's plenty of winery on the island. There are, I think, 8 or 9 in total. From one is very not far from here, so they are two not far from here. One is called D'Ambra. It's the typical surname from Forio. It's the biggest winery on the island. And then the other one is Krateca. It's not far from the Botania.
And you can do wine tastings and cheese tastings as well. All over these wineries.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to show you, this was our last stop, the rescue church. So this is the rescue church behind, so it's on a little promontory. So it's surrounded by the sea. I'm going to show you. It is very, very different from compared to the other churches. I mean, in Italy in general. And there were some sailors. They were sailing around Ischia They were on a boat, but there was a big storm. And they saw, literally right under here, they saw a big wood cross. So they tried to take it, to save it. So they managed to take it. And they came up here to the church of Soccorso, and they entered in the church just to protect themselves from this big storm, until, and they were waiting for the storm to go away so they could go back sailing. And at the end, they decided to leave this big cross here. There's a lot of different stories about why they left the cross here, but basically they felt like the cross belonged here, and then they left when the storm was gone. So there's a cross inside of the church. So this church represents rescue. So when these sailors were saved by the storm. And this is a very romantic spot. A lot of people usually come here for a walk. It's such a romantic place. I think the perfect place all around the island, in the whole island, to watch the sunset. So this is our tour, a little bit of our tour of Forio. This is the main part of Forio. There's so much more to explore, but of course, we try to do our best to show you. If you want to go, for example, a drink and have some fun, we have many other alternatives, but something that usually in Italy or in the south of Italy, in the islands, that we don't really have is beach clubs, crowded beach clubs, because the beach is kind of like a peaceful place where you just relax. You, of course, can have a drink, eat something. Of course, here everybody, it's just super nice. So they're always happy to just create something really nice for you, to accommodate you in any way possible.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And
thank you,
Pierpaolo, Francesca.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye everyone.